drink up, all you people.
Sinatra. There were many poets in the universe, but on Earth, all were absorbed as one. Somebody who thought they were important made that galactic policy, and it stuck. Like shrouds in a blue-speckled sky, you observe the whole panorama as if an ocean of information finally yielded one smart thought you couldn't remember. You'd follow feeling along the dark path to light, not knowing how far you'd gone or how soon you'd get there, but you had to keep moving just to make sure you were alive. Once I was on the dark path, heading to the dumpster, when I ran into my old friend Saint Stan. Stan was a self-proclaimed saint who took pleasure in the earthly fact that at spiritual interludes he was filled with unalterable goodness. Most who prayed to him did it accidentally. Stan was what you called a disposable saint, and would usually appear when you were throwing something away. We acknowledged each other with glows. "So, how's reality?" Saint Stan said. "Reality's a bitch," I replied. "She lets you go as far as she wants, then she takes you out when you least expect it." "Oh, you see reality as a she?" "Only when I close my eyes," I replied. We were surrounded in a green sphere that made the air taste like fresh mint. "I'm going to a spirit sale," the saint said. "Want to come?" "No way. I remember the last time we did that. We were with the poet who gave us something he called spring cleaning. What a mental season that was." "Yeah," the saint sighed. "It never ended." We carried on with reminiscences until the saint got serious and told me about some recent apparitions he was doing down on the docks. He said he ran into a truck driver prophet who told him that all the decadence and decay of Western society was the work of one man. "Satan," I said. "Sinatra," the saint replied. "Frank Sinatra? That's right, you're crazy. The truck driver prophet told me the current people he preached to had their heads clear and their personal problems disappear when they blamed it on Sinatra. My sources say he's connected to some of the greatest singers on the other side. I spiritually informed some of my followers about it, and it worked. You know what they say, when the past heals, the future feels." I thought the saint was playing with a half deck, but he did trigger an incident of my past that still wasn't emotionally clear in my head. I was attached to Love 30 then, swimming up a year while she was trying to be saved. We were gambling in the desert with dice. The crap game was hot, and whenever the shooter would throw a hard 4, they'd call it a Sinatra. The name would hiss off their lips with an enchanting sound that made the world hesitate. When the dice got cold, we drove away for a physical thing and punched into motel time. Inside our room, there was a cardboard picture of Sinatra hanging next to a mirror. The atmosphere felt right, so we did our duty twice and stayed for 2 sitcoms and a soap. Together, we were in hypnotic ecstasy until a Sinatra song came on, and we started arguing. What started out minimal soon escalated into nuclear action. But in our private fallout shelters, we managed to desperately survive. In another era, when the all clear sounded, 30 Love told me she tried to run me over that night because she was just trying to feel something. I told her I slapped her that night because I was just trying to slap something. We both shared a deep guilt and wanted to blame something, but we never thought of Sinatra. In reliving the incident this time, I put it all on Frank. Suddenly my head cleared and my lingering 30 Love problem disappeared. The saint read my thoughts and smiled like a needle and shone like a compact disc. "See how things can be fixed?" the saint said. I realized we were both nuts and sane, while on the dark path to light, it started to rain. "What's a saint doing on the dark path anyway?" I asked. "The dark path leads you to the light that stays." Do dreams work out that way? Time faded, the way an old album fades. Then later that decade, I went to a nightclub and met a shallow woman who wanted a mink. I told her my father was a trapper. She told me not to think. It turned on a light in me that wouldn't go off. We were to be married in a Las Vegas basilica where St. Stan appeared in the holy water, fingering a couple of dice. In one fluid motion, he whipped them down the middle of the aisle, and they came to rest right between us. When I saw it was a Sinatra, I slipped the ring on her finger. "I love you 'cause you're plastic," I said. And after the ceremony, me and my shallow wife went forever to bed while Sinatra played the sand.
Hey, drink up, all you people.